There is no such thing as the Holy Grail. Not a physical cup, anyway. All the myths concerning the Holy Grail have been more or less proven to be false, or metaphorical, or simply unprovable. What the Holy Grail is actually your own body. This vessel here. This is the vessel which you live in. This is the Holy Grail. This body. Not just my body, your own personal Holy Grail. Okay? Now, what you put into that is what's very important. Okay? And you can achieve certain levels of consciousness, certain ways of thinking, certain ways of being by putting things into your body. Okay? Food is medicine, not drugs. Food is medicine. And one of the things I'm going to tell you about is how to balance your endocrine system in order to achieve a certain enlightenment. Okay? And your endocrine system so happens to correspond with what we used to call chakras. Okay? You have your root chakra, you've got your sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye and crown, and many above. What we're going to concentrate is the ones at the body. Okay? Now, they do tend to correspond with the endocrine system. For example, if you think of your heart chakra, okay, right, the endocrine gland in your heart, there is not actually in your heart, it's very close by, the endocrine gland there, which secretes certain chemicals that make the heart, work for you in certain ways. Okay, it's the same with your pancreas and with your solar plexus and the lower chakras as well as the higher chakras. And there are certain herbal remedies that you can take that can stimulate those certain things, and that's what I'm going to be going into. And I do have a little book here which might help. Okay, it's called The Endocrine Glands and Your Health, and that's by Dr. Paul DuPont. Now, he is a Rosicrucian writer. He's also a doctor. So what he has done here, and I think this is amazing, is to link up the systems of the endocrine system and, of course, the chakras. Okay, and it's absolutely fantastic book. I mean, if you want to get this book, I can get it for you for a fraction of the price you would get it on the internet. Basically, it gives us some health tips, and one of the first things I'm going to have a look for you today is, now we're going to have a look at the pineal gland, or epiphysis. I can't say it. It's epiphysis. Epiphysis. That's what I'm going to call it anyway. So that is the smallest of our endocrine glands, and it appears to be right here. Okay. The role is unknown. The anatomy basically is a little distance behind the center of the head. So it's behind the center of the head, between the two cerebral hemispheres, behind and above the area where the cerebral system is located. To find it, draw two lines first from the center of the forehead backwards. Yeah. And from the 2 points at either side of the head. So you get the center of the head right there. It's the shape of a pine cone. That's what they say. We've been always told that it is the shape of a pine cone. Absolutely. It's more conical or oval in shape. And it's basically, that's your pineal gland, your third eye. That's what people tell us. Yeah, and that's what we've been told that all the time. And there's so many diagrams and things, and the Egyptians knew about it. That's why you know, they have the eye symbol. But yeah, you're basically the eye of Horus. But this is your third eye chakra. Okay, it's a pineal complex more than anything. It's the name of the epiphysis. Epiphysis is the name of the gland, and epithalamus is the name given to the plexus. Okay, it's the greatest supply of nerves in the body, interestingly, and it receives fibers coming from the olfactory bulbs, your nose, and the centers of vision, your eyes. It contains neurovegetative fibers from the first upper cervical ganglia up here. The orthosympathetic fibers are very important because if these ganglia become damaged, a degeneration of the pineal follows. So if anything's damaged, the pineal gland, you know, degenerates. It is the third eye. It contains cells sensitive to light. So to stimulate your third eye, right? Light. So once it gets to sort of winter time, right? The reason we start to feel depressed and down is a lack of light. Not only does it produce vitamin D and help us produce our vitamin D, but it's very, very good for your pineal gland. The pineal secretes a hormone called serotonin, which we know about, serotonin. Must not be confused with melanin. Melanin and serotonin, yeah. It is the pigment of the skin, with melatonin stimulate hormone from the hypophysis, which stimulates skin pigmentation. So don't get those two mixed up. Sometimes, you know, you would think the hormone capable of curing vitiligo. No, yeah, vitiligo, which is a depigmentation of the skin. So the secretion of melatonin, however, from the pineal is intimately linked to sunlight. So sunlight. Now, have you ever wondered what illuminates the Illuminati? Okay, so much bad press being given to people like the Illuminati, but you kind of wonder, well, what does that mean exactly? And it is my assertion that the Illuminati, so-called Illuminati, the actual Illuminati, are illuminated by sunlight. And we're not talking about your elites of this world. We're not talking about the rich people who think they're the Illuminati. We're talking about the actual Illuminati, and there is an actual Illuminati. We're not talking about, you know, the sinister conspiracy theory. We're talking about actual people who are enlightened, and this is what we mean by enlightened: opening of the pineal gland. Okay, darkness makes it possible for the gland to function, but it seems it also obeys orders from a sort of inner light. So inner light as well. Okay, there's inner light, not just outer light, but inner light, and that's what I'm talking about. Inner light. That's what the Illuminati have, the actual Illuminati. Okay, when people are isolated in caves, the pineal's periodicity of 24 hours changes to 25 hours. There you go. It's cyclical, and it should have a slowing down effect on your hypophysis. So energy is therefore no longer used for mental and subjective activity. So the vital essence within generates the psychic and subconscious activities of our being in such a way to manifest our dreams. So this is the inner light. The inner light manifests our dreams. So the good hormones there, the thyroid, suprarenals and sex glands are then slowed down through the secretions of the pineal, allowing the physical body to regenerate itself. That's sleep. So we regenerate during sleep. Yeah. One thing about the pineal gland, as I said, it sort of seems to dictate what dreams come to us. Okay. we readjust the phase of our intellect with our inner consciousness. So we stop seeing outer light, we start looking at inner light. So your dreams are really about your inner self, okay? Whether those dreams are getting rid of waste thoughts or premonitions, yeah, they owe their strength to the balancing function of the pineal. So, if you have a very clear pineal gland, and you're eating all the right foods and you're doing all the right things, your pineal gland will be balanced and open, and you'll be able to take in more, so that when you close your eyes, you turn your eyes inward. What do you get? You see what's actually there. So instead of just looking at the world around you, what comes in, you see what's in, and then you project what goes out. Okay. Without the sunlight, okay, people do start to get depressed. Autumn, winter, and then in the springtime they start to wake up again. So this is kind of a hibernation instinct, really. So jet lag as well is a problem, because especially if you're at one side of the world and then come to another side of the world, that would also hurt your pineal gland in many ways. So you have to make sure you get plenty of rest. Okay, and you would get fatigue and, oh my goodness, everything. So you have to be careful there. Now, the thing about the pineal gland is it also regulates aging, and according to this book, cancer. Because it secretes melatonin, okay, and it enhances sleep, combats aging, which is why I look so young, by the way. And and my understanding of it is that if you get this right, you can actually reverse your aging process. So instead of aging and becoming old, wrinkled, etc., when your body renews itself after 7 years or so, constant state of renewal, instead of atrophy, what would happen is actual renewal. So I would stay the same age that I am, or at least look the same age as I am, going into my senior years. So people wouldn't actually know how old I am, according to what this is telling us here. So it has an antioxidant effect, is melatonin, and reminds us that the action of vitamins is E and C. Okay, melatonin, experimentally given to an animal, increased its lifespan by 25 to 50%. Think about that. So basically, melatonin, or that particular hormone, is really going to stop you aging. Okay. Of course, there are a lot of other factors that you have to bring into mind, like keeping fit and diet and exercise. Diet, therefore, is very, very important when it comes to the health of your pineal gland. First of all, I would recommend not drinking the water. Obviously, I'm saying things that are not in here as well. I'm using this as reference. But don't drink the water, right? Drink spring water, bottled water, but don't drink water with fluoride in it, because fluoride calcifies your third eye and therefore aids aging. So, the pineal gives protection from ionizing radiation, radioactivity, magnetic fields, but only up to a certain point. Okay, working too near a computer screen, these things can disturb this gland. We should be at arm's length away from the screen to minimize the negative effects. So telephones too close to the face, these little things you call phones, they're not phones. Okay, alien technology maybe, but not phones. The pineal helps us sleep and helps hibernation, and that's for animals, obviously. It wakes us in the morning. Yep. From the effects of the sun, blocks secretions from the pineal, and lifts the brakes on the hypophysis. It would suffice to stimulate the pineal to sleep better, and conversely, go out into the sun and put the cycle of the pineal back in order. So stay out in the sun. Basically, sunlight is supposed to be very good for you. So when they tell you it causes cancer, does it? Does it really? Think about it. I think we've been given a lot of limited information on that. Yeah. Has an effect on the immune system, okay, by helping the thymus, okay. Immunity decreases with age, apparently. So we're told. Proportional to the size of the thalamus, this effect seems to be linked to the fact that the pineal counteracts aging and to the decrease in the size of the endocrine thymus gland. So sunlight will make you younger. You don't have to be out in it exposing your skin, just be in the sunlight. Okay, sunlight is very, very important in many, many ways. It stimulates your suprarenals, and if you've got an underactive pineal gland, there'll be lack of sleep. You'll sleep badly, you know. Certain hormonal dependent cancers are linked to pineal deficiency, cancers of the breast, ovaries, prostate and testicles. Okay, this hasn't been proven, but it is a very well popular theory. Yeah. More and more research suggests that the pineal counteracts aging. Okay, and it's possible that a deficiency in this gland would explain why some age more quickly than others. So if your pineal gland is deficient, you will probably look older than you actually are. But if your pineal gland is efficient, you could look like me. Yeah, I am 51, but of course I look 36. Obviously. The signs of an overactive pineal are little known, but this gland induces sleepiness. So you would sleep all the time. You'd be very, very sleepy. Too much tendency to dream and sleep without so much as being tired. So you're a bit of a daydreamer, you know, that kind of thing. The effects are similar to falling asleep. Some experience symptoms is drowsing, quivering, like going to sleep, sensation of dreams, dizziness. So if your pineal gland is overactive, okay, that's going to have the kind of opposite effect to make you very sleepy. Yeah. Now, things to remedy imbalances of the pineal gland. Obviously, light. Yeah, you need some sunlight for quite a few hours. 2 hours at a time has been recommended early in the morning and late at night in winter. So the pineal is blocked for a longer period. This cannot replace sunlight, although it does help. It doesn't replace sunlight, but you get one of those little sun lamps things where you make sure there's plenty of light coming in, at least for 2 hours in the morning. Okay. Lack of vitamin B3 leads to irritability, depression, fits of manic depression, and nervousness. So make sure you get vitamin B3 to stimulate your pineal gland, which can be found in yeast, sprouts, mushrooms, figs, dates, peanuts, parsley, watercress, cocoa powder, almonds, and sunflower seeds. So make sure you get enough of those. Lack of vitamin B6 also leads to insomnia, depression, pessimism, dark thoughts, and indifference associated with agitation, melancholy, and despair. So for your mental health, it would be good to remedy that using yeast, soybean sprouts, seed sprouts, salmon, haddock, oysters, cabbage, lamb's lettuce, watercress, avocados, lentils, beans, bananas, and peanuts. So balance out what you're eating, okay, because these things stimulate your pineal gland, okay, and give you the right nutrients you need for your body. Okay, so B6 and B3 contribute to the manufacture of serotonin and tryptophan, yeah, precursor to melatonin, melatonin's the pineal's hormone. So, you know, okay, we know that it's not a chemical imbalance in the brain why you have depression. However, these chemicals, you know, can help to balance your pineal gland, and I would think taking it as a little pill probably not a good idea. Get it from your food. Okay, get it from your food. Okay. Now there are certain herbal remedies as well which help stimulate your pineal gland, and that is water lily. Okay, bird's foot trefoil. Okay, lotus cornicolactus. You've got lotus and passion flower. Interestingly enough, because in ancient cultures, lotus and passion flower have always been associated with enlightenment. Aromatherapy. So essential oils have an effect on our nervous plexuses through smell and direct connections that exist between sensory olfactory cells. So broadleaf peppermint, rose, neroli, orange flower essence have a stimulating effect on the pineal. So you wish to get orange flower essence, rose, neroli, just breathe that in. And if you're having a session for your pineal gland, make sure you've got like that little sun lamp on, your aromatherapy, your pineal gland will be absolutely stimulated. And say you've eaten a couple of things like cocoa powder, bananas, almonds, etc., to give you those beans there, these vitamins, yeah. So mental and spiritual contact as well. It search for the hidden things in life, mystery of life, the union with the God of our heart, which is great. Who am I? What is consciousness? Those big questions will be in your mind when you do this kind of thing. And it acts in a spiritual way. So it's a spiritual light. So you might not believe in the spiritual, but let me tell you something here. This is a big thing about belief in the spiritual. You don't have to believe in it. What it is there are certain people out there, people who are in control, politicians, people like that, who would prefer that you didn't believe in spiritual matters. And the reason that they want you not to believe in spiritual matters is because they want you under their control. So if you want to believe in spiritual matters, you go ahead and believe, okay? They just want to control you, okay? They want to keep you in this world, easily controlled, no vision for the future, nothing like that. So impressions for your pineal gland should all be followed up. There may be two opposing desires. The intellect not following his idea whether to eat this or that, even though it might not be good for one's health. Perhaps your pineal gland has indicated that you should eat it for some reason. So follow up on your things. The soul must be given the opportunity to manifest itself, So give yourself give yourself a space. If you feel like you want to believe in the spiritual, do it. I mean, even if you don't necessarily believe right now, if you try to, stimulate your pineal gland, you might see different things, because there are different kinds of light out there. And as I said, there's also a kind of inner light, right? I will let you know more about the inner light and what the Illuminati actually are. And we're not talking about a conspiracy theory, and we're not talking about, this thing, the pretend Illuminati that was formed in Bavaria, or any secret society. We are not talking about that. We're talking about the actual Illuminati. And I'm going to reveal that to you as time goes on. Follow me for more information. Okay, bye for now.